Hello everybody, this is a Lamley showcase preview as well. Hot Wheels RLC Lamley Awards. We're going to walk through every RLC release in 2025. RLC meaning Red Line Club, if you're not familiar. Club that you got to join. Models go on sale at Mattel Creations. People buy them. There's lots of opinions. We'll walk through that as we go. We're going to walk through every RLC that was released in 2025. More on that in a second, because what you're looking at right now are the final two releases of 2025. One new model, one existing model in a new color. Ford Mustang SVT Cobra R is the new model. As of the time of me filming, this has not been released yet, but it's about to be released. I think Mattel's already announced it. This one is coming a week or two after that, the Toyota Supra. And I think that's it for RLC in 2025. So I'm going to open these up in this video, including them with all of the other releases as we go through them, review them, and then go down below into the link down below in the comment section or in the description and vote on the model that you think was the best of the year. I think there's been close to 30 releases in 2025, and I don't know, I say this with every poll how it's gonna go. This one's really tough. There's been some hype models like the RWB, we'll walk through that, but there's been an incredible amount of new castings, maybe the most prolific amount of new castings. I don't mean that as hype, I just mean that as fact. More new models this year than maybe ever. I think there's close to 30 releases. Half of those, I think, or nearly half, are new models. So we're going to walk through the new models in the second portion of the video, and we'll open up the Mustang. But for now, let's go through the existing models. New colors, right? And like I said, pretty prolific. This will be the last one, so we'll open this up. But let's walk through what we've got. I'm using this, I'm in this little studio box because these are Spectraflame. They're fun to see in proper light, so that is what we are going to do. I'm going to walk these through in roughly order. They're probably out of order a little bit. And this is when they got in our hands, not when they were put on sale, because as we know, sometimes they're put on sale, these models, and then we don't see them for a few weeks or months. Sometimes they're sent out immediately. Other times, in the case of selections, we make the vote, we decide on the color, we decide on the style. They put it on sale, we buy the number we want, they make that number, and then send them out to us sometimes a year later. So everything that has actually been mailed out is what we are going to vote on this year, and we will start with this one. These are all existing models to start, and wait till you get to the new models. It is going to be tough to vote on the best of the year. This is the Pagani Huayra R. First color was released last year in gunmetal gray. Ron Wong did this one, and then right after, and this was late 2025, but not soon enough to get into the Lamley Awards last year. Late 24, I'm sorry. This is, I think, considered... You know, sometimes one of these, I think this was actually considered a 2024 release, and I actually think the Gunmetal Pagani was supposed to be 2023. I'm not even going to follow that, obviously, because this came late 2024, early 2025. We haven't had a chance to vote on it, and this might be the model that you think was the best of the year. This Spectraflame Blue, gorgeous. The 10 spokes, perfect. There's a removable portion of the back showing the engine, which you start getting these features with a lot of these models. Ron included that. We'll wait till we get to the other supercar he did for RLC, and that's pretty cool. So we're going to put that one right there. I know it's out of the shot, but you'll get a chance to see it in a little bit. Next one, this was the membership model. Third color, right, of the, are they calling this Honda or Acura Integra? I think Honda Integra Type R, 1995. It's been in white and yellow. This is the first Spectraflame version. As the membership model for 2025. This is typically, you know, I think the Cobra is going to be the membership model this year. Opening hood, beautiful engine detailing. I think a lot of people were happy to see this in Spectraflame, I think only because we hadn't seen it before, and that's kind of proper RLC. Spectraflame, if you're not is this mirrored style. It's always been a Hot Wheels word. But that is the membership model that you might think is cool. This is the, again, I don't know if this is exactly in order, but this was the RLC / convention model. I'm not including convention models. They weren't, but these are kind of a hybrid between released at the convention, always in pink by Hot Wheels, and then put on sale at Mattel Creations after that. This is the Dodge Charger 1969, right? Dodge Charger RT, the one with the Hellephant. I don't know if I said that right, but the Hellephant engine in it. Brendan Matuski designed this one. This is one of the more traditional, I mean, pink's not necessarily a traditional color, but This one's been done as like a modified car and then also as a more in a classic Charger style. This one, pink with the white roof, is cool. And again, I don't know. It really depends. You can just decide. You're going to have to compare existing models with new. This makes this poll almost impossible because you're going to go preference. Some of you really like muscle. Some of you like modern muscle, like more modern muscle like this one. JDM, Euro, it's all there. Now supercars have been introduced. I mean, well, we'll just get to it. This is the Chevy Typhoon, I was looking at the year. GMC Typhoon, 1992 GMC Typhoon. I know that was not proper to say. First release was, I believe, last year in black. Really loved it in black. This is the second release. This is actually based on an actual color, I think. Most of them were done in black, right? But I've seen pictures of one like this with kind of a, not obviously Spectraflame, but a maroon color with this gray trim. I think we can probably keep a dialogue. RLC creates a lot of opinions, good and bad, partly because some of them are easy to get. I would say maybe the number one complaint this year has been prices. They've been way more expensive. They've gone up in price. I'm not going to sit here and try and justify the price for Mattel. I understand, you know, these are more rare. They're definitely more expensive to produce. They're their own thing. And, you know, if you don't like them, you don't like them. But, and then a lot of times they don't sell out at that expensive price. Other times they do, and the website has troubles. And I think that's why I'm saying that. It's just because this is easily, even with all of the new castings, this was easily the most talked about model of the year. One, it was very hard to get. It sold out very quickly. I think people who are in the subscription overdrive, the subscription plan, were happy to get theirs that way because this one sold out very quickly on the site. And we don't know how many were produced, but clearly, it depends on how you look at it, not enough. Return of the RWB Porsche that had only been this particular casting with the opening doors. Let me see if I can do this with the gloves. I mean, a pretty beautiful interior plus the opening trunk. Brendan Vituski did this one years ago. And this was only the second release, and I think people really dug, because the first one was in black, really dug this Spectraflame teal color. It really pops, kind of works for this car. And so I think there's just a lot of genuine love for this car, this casting, this version. I think everyone liked it, but it was also very difficult. So there's strong opinions about that one because of how quickly it sold out. But I also think that one might be one of the front runners for our best RLC of the year. Let's move this just like that so we can go. Here's the next one. Probably not talked about as much was the Jag, but an appreciated, hopefully an appreciated model. I think RLC, all things aside, you know, whatever you think about how they are to acquire, whether you think about the price, I think we have seen the RLC, the Redline Club, really evolve in terms of the diversity of the models. There used to be a time when it was all Hot Wheels originals and basically muscle cars. It's moved so far beyond that. Some of the muscle car fans think there's not enough, but I understand that. But we get some other cars like this classic European car, like the Jag E-Type. And this one in particular is quite beautiful in the Spectraflame red. It's not going to win. We just know that. But I hope people appreciate that car. Next one. I don't know if I can get this one open with the gloves, but we've already seen it before. It is the Datsun Z. What's the official name of this one? Custom 72 Datsun 240Z. We've seen several releases of this one. It was done in a BRE chrome, dark chrome, not too long ago. This was kind of no one really knew this one was coming. I don't know, it might even still be available on the site. It's clean. I really do like the olive color on this one, the combination with these Watanabe rims. It's a really nice, clean version. I don't know if it's going to create much passion. But again, almost like the E-Type, it's just a really nice version of this car. But is it a $30 or $35, whatever it went for? Is it that nice? I don't know. That's up to us to decide. All right, let's keep on going after this one. Here's another one. Christina did this design and several other designs. I know Hot Wheels Van, Steve Vandervaart, does other. We're talking about the decos. Brandon Vituski did a lot of these castings, but we've talked about that in the past. I know that Christina did this one on the BMW, which is maybe the second or third version of this release. Opening hood on that one with the BMW. Nice to see it actually close. A couple of mine didn't really close properly. Saw a lot of opinions on this design with, you know, kind of the M striping and the Spectraflame red. It's definitely unique in terms of its look. I really like it. I think BMW fans like it, but I don't know. We'll see. This one, people might say tons of hype, but the evidence is there that the R34 is always a loved casting. It always sells well. This one obviously was, obviously, this was a selections model. So this was sold probably in 2024. The casting was chosen in a vote. The color was chosen in a vote. I don't know if the wheel colors was chosen. I can't remember if we voted on the wheel color. Maybe we did. But I think Steve Vandervaet did the design kind of based on the color choice and obviously the casting choice. And it came out great. Carbon fiber hood. I really like the color of wheels. I also love the colored axle. That's a nice kind of Hot Wheels style that I really like. We don't see all the time. We'll see it a couple other times this year, I think. But I really like this Spectraflame red. I'm actually, you know, there's been a couple releases of this one that I haven't been that into, but I actually think this one's pretty clean. And it's, of course, going to get some attention because the Skylines always do. It seems like, you know, obviously it's different people. A lot of people are going, oh, it's too much hype. But Hot Wheels isn't going to stop making them because they always sell. This one, I think people really like the color. It really does. Is that exact match of the RWB? It might be. It's close to it. This is the Ford. Oh, boy. You say Chevy and it's GMC, but it's even worse when you say Ford and it's Chevy. I don't know why it came out that way. I was thinking about not saying it, and I said it. 1990 Chevy 454 SS. Iconic car. Has to be done in black, and now it's a matter of, like, how do you go from there? And I think this is a cool, like, for the era it's from, this is a cool design in the Spectraflame teal. I think that one is a nice one, too. I know there's going to be a lot of fans that will vote for that one. Keeping on going. Shag van, tradesman. Second version, first one was in purple. This is the second version with the opening. Again, let's see if I can. Yeah, I can open the side doors. Showing that just fantastic shag carpet interior. Padded doors. Details on this one. I think, you know, I don't know what people trying to open the back doors too, but I don't know if I can do it with the gloves, and I'm not taking them off. Giving them the white glove treatment. Got it. Just this one probably is the most fun in terms of, you know, I mean, there might be more impressive feats, but this one in terms of just playfulness and fun, and it's just a great model with all those opening doors. Really love the color, really love the styling. I think Christina did this one. And always one that makes me smile. Always happy to have that one in the collection along with the purple one. I think this one fits really well. So that one is a very much worthy vote. Back to the convention. We had nationals with the Charger. This was the convention in October. The pink release. Obviously, it's a 55 Bel Air gasser. We've had it released in RLC a lot. This one is an appropriate one. Neo wheels. Collectors have, newer collectors have moved away from these wheels. So has RLC, I think, to cater to collectors, but there's a lot of old school collectors who still enjoy this style because it's obviously based on the classic Redline wheel from way back when. I like it on this casting. I'm glad they didn't put it on the Charger. Understanding that these wheels will pop on this casting a lot of time, I'm fine with it. But yeah, I kind of share the opinion. I'm not too into it, but I do like the pink Redline tires on that. But these are plastic wheels. But it fits also, that style of gasser also fits the 3 membership releases from several years ago. All right, Mustang. Everyone thought the new Cobra R was going to go on sale when they announced this, but it was this one. The, what year is this? A 1993 Ford Mustang Cobra R, not the SVT. Originally, was it a red car? I think most colors are in red, but they've done some nice versions of this since. Chrome, this one's a dark. They've done a black. This is more of a black chrome. It's been in red. I know it's been pink for membership, and then it's also, I think, a couple times in the convention, like teal, orange, Spectraflame pink, and then this one, dark chrome. I really like this Fox body casting a ton, and I do like that version. 2 more. Honestly, I'm walking through these and I try and give my opinion. This one I was so excited about, and I didn't see as much excitement. People didn't share this as much as I thought they would. I thought this one as a holiday car, I think people really like it. This is obviously the Lamborghini Countach. I loved it as a holiday car, snow themed. You know, I don't need, for my own opinion, I don't need, you know, snowmen and reindeer on these cars or whatever for the holiday release. But it's cool they do a holiday release. I thought this, using the white Countach as the holiday car, I thought was just such a cool decision. How you want to reference snow with a car from this era. It just had so many layers of fun. And the Countach is how we think of it. The white Countach in white is how we think of it. They're using Hot Wheels wheels. I know people wanted to see like what those 4-dot wheels or something, but they don't have them. And so I thought these wheels make sense because they're as white as they can make them. And having this Lamborghini in white with white rims for the holidays to, I don't know, it just was so perfect. And I still just love the concept, just kind of all the thought that went into that, because we just needed a white Countach. We got it in a cool theme and kind of a little more playful than maybe we expected. And I just love it. And it just on its own, it's great. And then this was the last of Wilson, and then we'll open up the Supra. I guess, you know, I should have made spots for the Supra, but we'll do that. This was just released. This is the RX-7 second color. First version was in red. There was a lot of opinions about the engine on this one. I get it. Let me see if I can open this one. Yeah. I think this one's, it might just be more of the style of the, it wasn't executed well. I think people thought this was a little too blobby. I think the tampo work on this release is better. It may not be perfect just because of the way the engine was designed in this, but I think it did look better. And I have to say, I did like the Spectraflame red, but this blue with this color rims and the 10 spokes, I think is night and day. I think it's a much, much better version. So hopefully people like this one too, because I really did like it. All right, let's get that Supra out, and then we'll move to the new stuff. So here it is, final release. We'll get it open. We'll get it on the turntable so you can look at it and decide maybe that's the one that you want to vote on. You can freeze the screen if you want to read that stuff. No number. But when was the last time? Did anything get numbered this year? I don't know if it did. All right. Should I open this from the bottom? Let me try. Anyway, I don't know. At the time of this filming, I don't know the date. Maybe I will, and it will be in the description. If not, just follow Mattel Creations or on Instagram. There we go. Get that little back piece out, and here is the model. I think the blue Supra, people were big fans of the blue Supra. I sure was. I like a couple things. The color, I don't know. Here's the engine. I think the engine is nicely detailed. I think that's pretty nice, but let's get this closed. And then we also know that this has the removable top as well. I really do like it as an open top. I think that's a great design there. That's what makes me pretty excited about this casting, and I liked it since they did it. Well, I will say what I love about this. I really do like the casting a ton. I like the way it was executed by Brennan with the removable top. I love that they did chrome rims on this. Hot Wheels doesn't do enough chrome rims on cars like these. We tend to see them on muscle cars in car culture, and we tend to see them, I don't know, they pop up occasionally, but I would like to see more chrome rims because they just pop so well on these on Hot Wheels. And these look really good. The color is okay. I'm okay with the color. I think it's a nice choice as long as we get more versions of it. But I like the blue one with the gold rims a little bit, well, actually quite a bit better. But that one is nice, so we will add it to the, I guess I can add it right up there. There is our walkthrough of the existing RLC models, and we still have new models to do. So these could be the ones, one of these could be the ones you vote on. I think that RWB will get some play. Some of these others will as well, but let's see what new models were released and watch how hard it's going to get. All right, same thing. We're going to walk through these models in roughly the order that they were released. It's rough, I promise you that, but you will get to see all of them. So we have to go back again because these weren't included in 2024 to, I think, late 2024 for this particular model. And just I mean, this is a murderer's row. Trying to choose is going to be so hard because this one's fantastic. This is the Audi Quattro. What's the year on this one? 1986, I believe. 1985 Audi Sport Quattro S1. In the racing livery, I think a tribute livery. Opening hood, I think. Dwayne Vance designed this one. Yeah, opening hood. Love the Spectraflame color as kind of the base color here. Tons of details in the engine and the engine bay, which looks really, really nice. Even on the back side of the hood, which they've been doing with RLC models. Just a lovely, lovely model. I'm hoping to see new versions here very soon. And, you know, like I said, it used to be all just muscle. The variations in what's been, or the diversity in what's been released, this is about as good an example of that and getting this rally Audi. It really does reflect, I think, where the hobby is. So that's the first 14, like I said. Next one, I don't remember if this was exactly released after it because there was a bit of gap in releases. This is the Lamborghini Miura. 1971 Lamborghini Miura P400 SV in, what would you call that color? I don't know if you call it olive, but beautiful, beautiful color. And a beautiful, beautiful car, beautiful silhouette. I think when I first showcased this, I was a little frustrated the way the hood's closed, and some of you had a better closing hood. Brendan Vituski did this one. Sometimes, though, with these opening parts, which I think is one of my complaints with RLC, is like, it's nice to get all of these really cool features, and I think that is a nice upgrade from typical models. And this one has the opening front and the opening back. So you get, did I say engine details? You get the front details, obviously, with the spare tire, and then you, of course, you get the engine in the back. With this Lamborghini Miura, and it's done really, really well. But sometimes with that, you notice there a little bit of a gap. You know, the hood does not sit totally flush. And that, to me, you know, that's probably my biggest complaint. I figure like the prices, I think the prices probably reflect where we are economically, what the cost is to produce these models. I think Brendan puts a lot of detail in them. Does make them more expensive to produce. Again, I'm not here to justify the price, but I'm fine typically with the price. And, but I think if I have a complaint, it's sometimes these pieces and the way I don't know if the paint is totally accounted for. And listen, here, I'll put it next to my mic. This is me pressing on the hood. It pushes down, but then it pops back up because of the paint is just too thick. So anyway, I really like the model. I'm looking forward to future versions, but it does kind of bother me that it can't sit flush. If you can't get it to sit flush, I don't know if you should do it, is my point. All right, let's keep on going. How about this? I don't know if this is considered technically an RLC release, but it was released on Mattel Creations and it's in Spectraflame, so it definitely goes. And this is the Ferrari debut, the Ferrari 2, the 2 model set, released to kind of announce the return of the Ferrari license to Mattel. I love that they did this one along with, they did a classic, you know, based on a classic car, classic Hot Wheels Ferrari, also with something completely new. Brendan did this casting, 1969 Ferrari 312P, which is also the first casting, the first Ferrari casting that Hot Wheels ever did. Obviously, this is an updated version, a little more detail to it, a little more modernized, even though it is a classic car. But the Neos are on there. It's in Spectraflame Red. This one has an opening hood, but it opens the proper direction now. I think the other one opened the other way. This one opens the proper direction and has a ton of engine detail that Brendan put in there. And it's a cool one. I'm hoping to see this version released, you know, with some real riders at some point, done as a classic race car. I assume they did the model. I assume we'll see it. And then, of course, coming along with it was the 499P Modificata, different casting, a lot of it based on the one we saw in Car Culture, but this one has a few more details to it. Ron Wong did this design, probably the right guy to do this design, and has this removable piece to show the engine in the back of this car, which is a stunner as well. Oh, this one is just so cool, so well done, so beautifully done as Spectraflame. I thought they did a really, really nice job using these two castings as the return of Ferrari, and I hope to see more Ferrari RLC. It would be really cool to get some more castings. There's been, what was it? Was it the 330p4 that was in RLC at one point? In chrome, I think that's the one. But let's keep on going. How about this one? See, it gets really, really tough when it comes to figuring out what model you would vote on. Like I said, I think that RWB is going to get some play, but even in these new models, you're justified in choosing any of these, really. I really love this one. This is the Mercedes-Benz 1964 Mercedes-Benz 600. This one has not only just looks good in its lowered stance, I think it was a perfect color. Love the wheels. It's just an absolutely phenomenal Mercedes. But Brendan really worked hard on making this one have 4 opening doors. And he's talked about in some of the sneak peeks that we did, he talked about how difficult this was, but for them to be able to pull this off is pretty phenomenal. To be able to have what they need to be able to open these doors, using the seats as a way to make these doors and make these pieces work. I mean, it's just a brilliant, brilliant car. It looks good with the opening parts. Like I said, if the opening parts get in the way of the look of the car, I myself am not that much into it, but this one, they function well, and the car itself just looks beautiful with all these opening parts. I love it. I love it. They don't get in the way, and it's pretty brilliant what Brendan did with the opening parts on that one. That's one that I'm definitely considered, and then considering as my favorite of the year. But then there's like this one, the 22B, iconic. It will never look as good as this one. I know we're getting another one. Christina's doing a really cool design in gray. This one gets modified because this one is labeled as the 22B STI version on the base. 1998 Subaru Impreza. But in keeping with Subaru's preferences, the 22B only came in blue. Now, I don't know, they've called it the 22B in car culture and in the basic range with different colors. But I think with RLC, and maybe it's because the engine, I don't know, is shown on this one, they have modified the casting and modified the chassis for future versions to not reflect the 22B. It'll be just the STI or WRX or whatever. And but this one is the proper 22B, proper color, proper wheels, sort of. But the color looks so good. And this one is a stunner. I'm so glad they did it. And whatever happens to this casting in the future, this one will always be the one to have. And just for that reason, this one makes it a very worthy vote for best RLC of the year. And then we move on to another, like completely across the spectrum, into a fabulous wagon that Brendan Vituski designed. 1959 Chevrolet Brookwood. Opening hood. Showing tons of detail on the engine. I think that one looks good. Anytime they can kind of show the depth of the engine bay, it really makes a lot of sense. And then this one also has the opening tail, which looks great too. This one feels kind of throwback RLC, just in terms of the styling and the striping, the style of the wagon, the era it comes from. This is just kind of seems like, as much as I like where RLC has gone, they're still, a little bit of a throwback like this, and executed so beautifully. It's just such a beautiful car. And another one that I am looking forward to future versions of. So, cross the spectrum from Mercedes to Ferrari to classic Mercedes to 22B to classic wagon, and then all the way across again to a Volkswagen Golf. 1976 Volkswagen Golf. Mark 1 GTI. Another one, I love the size of the rims. I love that they have played with these smaller wheels, and it allows them to do castings like this that actually, even though size-wise, they're really not that different from the other ones, they can build them. They have to kind of start with the wheels. And this is why I like RLC, because they're still Hot Wheels. They typically utilize existing wheels, existing premium wheels. And this one gets that, and it can stay small, it can look small, and love how they executed the color, the trim, the wheels look really good, the size of the wheels, the execution of the rims, and then of course this opening part. Look at that engine. It's just, that's detailed. That looks great. Interior, a lot of detail in the interior as well. I really like this one. There's not much I didn't like in RLC, but it's like RLC I'm always a fan, so just the way it works. Oh wait, Golf goes here. Oh, I didn't even talk about it. I just love the red trim on the front, which is such a cool detail of that car. Okay, another one that I am giving a ton of consideration to being my model of the year. I'm going to tell you which one it is here at the end. Love this one. And I think, well, there's been, what? This is the third RLC BMW. We've had the E30 and we've had the M3. Which generation? It's back on the other side. This one, the lightweight. Oh, what's the official 1995 BMW M3 lightweight? Rob Mathis did this one. It's perfect. I love this model. I love the details in the engine. I love the silhouette of this car. I love the way it was. I mean, I just that square. I mean, it's just a car already I really like, and it's just executed so perfectly. I'm really looking forward, and I'm really hoping that one day we see this one released in that M styling, right? White. Whether they do it as like a Spectre Flame White, I guess it would be like a Pearl White. I don't know. But I like it released in BMW Orange first, in the Spectre Flame Orange. I'm probably looking forward to, as much as I like that color, I'm looking forward to future versions as well. The wheels are perfect. That's another one that gets tons of consideration for me as model of the year. But it didn't make the top 3, sadly. Love this one too. Toyota SR5, this is 1981. Yep, 81 Toyota SR5 four-wheel drive. It won't look as good as this one in the future. I think these are new rims. I think Rob did this one too. Rob does a lot of Toyotas. He does a lot of BMWs. He does all the F1 cars as well. He's been around a while, does a lot of cool things. Opening tail on this one, which looks great. Opening engine. Of course, the axles look really well done here too. Something they can do in RLC, not giving those big blocky blobs in the bottom that they have to do on the other models. They can do some more detailing here, which looks really nice. And this Toyota in that deco and that design. There'll be some good ones in the future, I think, but I just love that deco. Again, I don't know how it's going to look any better. All right, we're down to the final 4. That includes the Mustang. So how about the Koenigsegg that Ron did? He did the Pagani last year. He did this one this year. Andres did the Deco. This one I think was originally supposed to be a 2024 release, but they worked and worked and worked. Ron has done, he did the McLaren P1 that didn't totally come out as they hoped. They worked so hard on making the doors work, and I think they just didn't work the way that I think they had hoped and collectors had hoped. But that Pagani came out really well, and this Koenigsegg Jesko Absolute Jesko is Ron's work. I think this is his crowning achievement in RLC so far. Not only does it look good, and Ron's designs, especially when he tackles supercars, as we know, he does most of this. He does most of the designs for premium right now. And if it's something that's supercar related, you know Ron is going to be behind it. And he's done some great ones. But this one, it just looks really good. And then it has this and then of course the side mirrors. I just got to show you the side mirrors. Detail on the side mirrors is great, which I know people were very excited about to see that. Because you could see this casting being released without those side mirrors, but Ron said, nope, we're getting the side mirrors. And then you think the doors open that way, but no. They actually rotate up like they're supposed to. And he worked forever, and that's why the model got delayed, to be able to get the doors to actually open this way. They don't totally like function the way that the doors on the real car do, but the fact that you can position this way and the doors this way is pretty incredible. And then you can get some really great interior. And then, yeah, you just rotate it down. It kind of pops into that kind of door open, and then you just pop them in. It's pretty insane that Ron was able to execute that. So that's up there as a great model. I love the color. Andres did an amazing job on the design with that orange trim. Final 2 before we open up that Mustang. Ford GT40, designed by, I think Brendan did the design, or maybe Dwayne Vance did the design, and then Christina did the deco in that Bruce McLaren black. Beautiful rims. These are actually new rims. For these kind of race cars, we're going to see them on the Cobra. I think Brendan designed them for the Cobra, and then Christine and Dwayne said, well, let's put them on the GT40 first. And they did. And it looks really good. You have the opening portion here in the back, showing all the detail on the engine. I'm really happy to have this casting because I've never been a huge fan of the original GT40 casting. That has been an RLC before. Been a Super Treasure a couple times. I think this is a major upgrade from that casting. And, you know, detailed the way an RLC should be. Tons of details on this one, and Christina and I think Dwayne walked us through that when we did that design. So that's one that I think the classic race car fans are pretty excited about. And here's the other one that just, oh boy, the Purple Nova. Maybe a little bit of a throwback, right? Getting a classic muscle car in RLC, but this one really has the modern Brendan Vituski touches. This is the 1972 Chevy Nova SS. Done pro stock style, so super wide rims, a new wheel, which is so perfect muscle. This is the Yenko, and then obviously a thin front wheel. So every angle on this looks good, and then the totally removable front. Let's see if I can, there we go. Pop it one way. How do you do this? There you go. As it should be. Showing that, exposing that total front as a pro stock car would function. Then a nice click in, and the silhouette on this one, the 3/4 angle from the rear is just amazing. Unlike the Lamborghini, this hood portion sits really flush. So the execution of this one, that interior, the roll cage, everything about it, the seat belts and the harnesses, I mean, so many cool details. I think this one is up there too. It's just a fabulous release. I don't necessarily always go by the cars I like the most. There's, you know, I tend to lean towards a particular kind of car. I think that's the kind of, but in this case, you'll see that it may not have been my favorite car that I voted as best. All right, let's open up this Mustang. So much excitement for this one, the 2000 Ford Mustang SVT Cobra R. What, 100 produced of this actual car? Were they all produced in red? I don't know if they were. I think they were. I guess we'll learn about it as we go. Christina's talked about this. She did the deco on this one. I think Brendan did the design. We got that Fox body. That was a nice addition, getting the Fox body. And this is a generation that, you know, I've never liked this design of Mustang, but doing the SVT kind of works perfectly. And this is a really, really nice addition. So let me see if I can open this one up. Same way with the Supra, if I can open it from the bottom. These are not easy to do. There it is. All right, Brendan did the design. So the first thing, I'll show you the engine. Look at that. I mean, I don't think there'll be many complaints for a Hot Wheels that has an engine that looks that detailed, especially with the detailing that we see right there. I'm trying to get the angle I can with the opened hood. That looks amazing. We close this, and I think knowing that there's been this like ongoing fight between, I don't want to say it that way. Let me rephrase. Brendan has noticed the complaints about the lack of side mirrors in a lot of the castings he's done. And one of the reasons he has given is that sometimes the detailing they want to add will not match the other details of the car. And some designer or some collectors buy that, others don't. But this one got the side mirrors. And I think people are very excited about that. The silhouette on this one and the wheels are just a perfect. And I'll have to say, if you look at these wheels at first, there was a thought, oh, do they look like the plastic rims that we see? No. They have this finish that just makes them look more dull metal, which I think is the right look for this. And I wish this was, I don't know if it's really expensive to do, but I just wish this style was incorporated into car culture. Because, yeah, you don't want to have everything that, you know, I like the chrome rims, as I've said, but you don't have to have everything look super chrome, but you can make them look kind of like a dull metal. And this one really works. This model's so nice. So pretty. And I think we'll get a fair share of votes. The chassis looks really good on this one too. Oh, I just love that. Yeah, the more you have it in hand. We've seen this before in the sneak peeks, but this thing's so good. And I think so exciting. I wonder if this one, you know, again, as I'm putting this video up, we already know if it's sold out or not, but I don't know at this point. I have to think that there's a good chance that it does because it looks really good. All right. What was my choice? Let me show you in this very, very long video the choice that I had. So it comes from the new models for me. I really like, I mean, I like everybody. I really think the return of the RWB was so nice. Really love the Audi, really love the Ferraris. These were the most significant releases, I think, were the two Ferraris for obvious reasons. Mention the lightweight, mention the 22B. But the top three for me, Koenigsegg, Nova, and the Mercedes. Again, my choices might change tomorrow because I really like the Ferrari as well. But and I like the white and the 20. I mean, I might even decide on the Mustang now that I have that open. But loved this with or without the opening doors. Loved this as a choice. I just love these VIP style Mercedes. So I was just really into it. And then add to it that it has an opening part that I think functions really well. So this is model choice plus execution makes it super, super high on my list. Because there's other model choices that I was really into, like the lightweight. This one, I think it's a mixture of the style, the choice. The Pro Stock Nova was a great choice, and it just looks so cool. And it looks so cool in that Spectraflame purple. I love the way the wheels have been done. So while maybe a Pro Stock Nova isn't totally my style, this is a car that I can't ignore how cool it is. So this one had to be in my top three. I am not a supercar / hypercar guy. I think they're cool. I think they perform well, but for the most part, they're just so unobtainium. They are rarely seen, if ever, on the road. They're more like just something that you see. There's just like the idea of the hypercars. I'm just not as into them as, say, like someone like Ron. I like, you know, I don't know. I can appreciate them, and I can appreciate them for the works that they are, and like the feats of technology and craftsmanship and everything else. I can definitely get behind them. This one, there's just something about it. The way Ron designed it, the way Andres did the deco on it, the rims, the way the rims sit, and then how Ron was able to execute the doors. I think this is just such a cool feat and such a brilliantly executed model that this is my RLC model of the year. This is my choice. I did not expect it to be. Truthfully, I thought it would be the lightweight 22B, but once I opened this one, unscrewed it from its base and had it in hand and had some time to kind of fool around with it, no model impressed me more than this one did in RLC this year. None. And so I have to kind of go with my gut on that. And that's my number one. But you can tell me, go down. I would love to see your comments, but definitely vote below. Tell me which one is your choice, but I would love to know your reasoning. So definitely put that in there. I would be curious for sure. Thank you, everybody. Thank you guys thanks designers for some pretty cool models. I think these are all a really, really good year for RLC, I think. All complaints, all issues, cost issues aside, I think when you remove all of that, I think we can all agree RLC had a pretty stellar year. Thanks, everybody. Bye.